A lot of people think you need fancy brushes or years of experience to make a good digital art, but honestly, that's not how I started. When I first began drawing digitally, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I made a lot of mistakes, and my sketches looked messy, and I kept questioning whether I was improving at all. But over time, I realized that getting better was not about having the perfect tools. It was about understanding the basics and drawing consistently. Alright, so let's start by observing one of my drawings. Here are a few of my early pieces in digital art, so I had no idea what I was doing back then. Here, I only used one brush for the whole thing, which is Dip Pen Hard. The brush is free and very accessible. For beginner artists, you can use ibisPaint for one of the most accessible drawing software options out there. I still use the free version, but feel free to upgrade to premium if you need to. So let's begin, shall we? A lot of artists use different techniques to approach their drawings. Some people like to get a bigger picture first by starting with circles, boxes, and other basic shapes. Others likes to draw the eyes, nose, and mouth first, then adjust them later if they don't fit. Well, it's all up to your preference, but I always like to make sure I start with a good reference. Here I begin with the eyes. Essentially, eyes mostly look the same. Make them kind of oval, add the tear ducts, some eyeliner, eyebrows, and eyelashes. Here I'm drawing in a 3/4 perspective. Note that I already had an idea of this character beforehand, so it might look like I know what I'm doing, but there's nothing wrong with doing a little bit more experimenting. Drawing a nose requires you to connect it to the eyebrows, measure the distance towards the bottom, and add some nostrils as well. Never feel like your nose looks weird because everyone's nose looks different. I'll also include a lip drawing tutorial in a later video. Now, as you can see, I only draw a line art to get a general idea of everything. The sketch looks very messy, but we'll revise it later, so it's completely fine if it looks rough. I still find it hard to draw fashionable outfits, but I'll improve over time, okay? We're finished with the rough sketch, so now we move on to the skin coloring. This is always the hardest part for me because every angle and every person has a different skin tone. Today, I'm using a light pinkish cream as the base color. For female characters, I usually add blush to the cheeks. Blush can vary depending on the face shape, but honestly, feel free to make it as soft or as bold as you like. I also add a little bit of light brown in areas where I think shadow would naturally appear, like under the hair. Here, I only use the smudge tool, but feel free to use a blur filter instead. I also use a slightly gray shadow to add more depth. My favorite part has to be the eyes and the eyebrows. I usually don't use pure black line art. Instead, I use a brownish line art to make it softer on the eyes. You'll also notice that I draw the eyebrows strand by strand and then fill them in later with a very light color at low opacity so they don't look too harsh. For the eye color, to be honest, everyone sees things differently, so just have fun with it. Just don't forget to add some white highlights where the light source hits and darker colors for the pupils. I also like to add glasses from time to time because I think they're cute. Next, I add the base color for the hair, then draw lots of strands for the fringe. After that, I add a second base color for the shadows and then another outer layer for even more depth. Don't forget to add extra strands here and there. Finally, I add some highlights, and when drawing glasses, don't forget to add a slightly bluish, low opacity reflection around the lenses. A plain colored background also helps the character to stand out more. And now it's done! What do you think? Feel free to try these tips and let me know how you do in the comments.